Gary Neville's lifestyle as a pundit has never been far from controversy, from his playing days at Manchester United to his disastrous managerial career at Valencia, his businesses, personal moments, luxury properties, and net worth. This is what truly defines Gary Neville's relentless lifestyle. Gary Alexander Neville was born on February 18, 1975 in Bury, Greater Manchester, England. He grew up in a family that was obsessed with football. 18 months after Gary was born, he got twin siblings, Tracy and Phil. Their parents' influence and support would play a pivotal role in shaping all their careers. Neville Sr. was a former league cricketer, even serving as the general manager for the English club, Bury. His mom, Jill, was no slouch either. She used to play netball at the local leagues and was involved in administrative roles in sports. Gary's parents would frequently take him and his siblings on long trips to sporting events and occasionally play with them. As kids, Gary and the twins would arrive at school an hour earlier just so that they could play in the yard. They all had their favorite games. Gary had always been a fan of football. Phil loved cricket, even though Gary's influence and a focus on football later on at the age of 14. Tracy had always been a stickler for netball and rounders. While growing up, their family set up camp at Old Trafford as they all loved Manchester United. Gary would spend his entire career as a player there, from 1991 to 2011. His younger brother Phil also started out as a player for United but left in 2005 for a 5-year contract at Everton. But let's quickly remind ourselves of Gary Neville's career as a footballer. He was no David Beckham, but Neville made a name for himself at Manchester United. Gary Neville was one of Fergie's fledglings, the famed class of '92. Some of the other notable names on the team were Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, and Nicky Butt. Gary became a stalwart at the Red Devils' defense, becoming one of the best right-backs in the world. However, he occasionally played center back or defensive midfielder when required. He wasn't the quickest, strongest, or even the most talented, but boy did his work rate, tactical intelligence, and consistency stand out. He was the traditional defensive-minded right back with an authoritative presence. Who else misses the good old days? During his time at the club, he served as captain of the Red Devils and led his team to glory, winning numerous domestic and European titles, including 8 Premier League titles, 3 FA Cups, and the UEFA Champions League twice. His loyalty to Manchester United was unwavering, making over 602 appearances for the club. Gary played for the England national team against Japan in 1995, making his debut. 5 managers selected him, and he went on to give them a taste of excellence. The Brit earned 85 caps for the Three Lions and represented his country in European Championships and FIFA World Cups. Gary doesn't always look back at his time with the Three Lions with the level of joy that you would expect. He often says that he didn't perform his best there. I don't know, there was a lot of pressure on him and everyone else on the team, no doubt. He later became part of the senior team coaching staff for the English team under Roy Hodgson in 2012. Neville was then assistant manager for the Three Lions as England participated in the FIFA World Cup in 2014. In 2015, he was appointed as manager of Valencia, finally being the one in charge. But things didn't turn out so well, and he got sacked a year later after a series of disappointing results. Where is he now? All over the media, literally. He works as a pundit, manages a YouTube channel, and does other stuff, but what do we know about his personal life away from football? The 48-year-old met the mother of his kids in 2004. Emma Hadfield was a therapy student working as a shop assistant when she met Neville. They were immediately drawn to each other, and 3 years later, Neville asked her to marry him. The couple welcomed their first child in 2009, a daughter named Molly. Their second daughter, Sophie, came a year later. Neville's commitment to his family has been evident throughout his career. They all currently reside in Manchester, very close to his property empire. Off the field, Gary Neville is known for his passion for football analysis and punditry. He's been a regular fixture on television as a football commentator and analyst, notably featuring on Sky Sports and providing insightful perspectives on the game. He's known to be very blunt with his opinions, so he might have pissed you off at some point. Neville also enjoys spending time with his family. We often get to see pictures with his siblings. He travels on holidays with his wife and children, frequently posting stories on Instagram. Neville's property investments are well known, particularly his real estate ventures. One of his biggest investments is hotels. The former footballer owns Hotel Football and co-owns the Stock Exchange Hotel near Old Trafford with his former teammate Ryan Giggs. The hotel is a popular destination for football fans and travelers alike. In an act of charity, he and Giggs made accommodations available to NHS workers during the pandemic. Neville has invested in several business ventures, about 66 of them, if my math is correct. That is a lot. even for a retired player of his caliber. He's been involved in property development projects, a production company, creating his own hospitality business, and an institution he named University Academy 92. The ex-Red Devil skipper is also co-owner of a football team, Salford FC. He owns 10% of the team, while his younger brother Phil also owns 10%. Salford is presently 19th in Football League 2. Not the position the Nevilles would want though. Gary Neville's net worth primarily stems from his successful football career, media work, and business investments. His annual salary is estimated to be in the millions. His co-ownership of hotel football and other business ventures contributes significantly to his wealth. Neville's multiple income streams make him one of the wealthiest former footballers in the world. While precise figures vary, his net worth is reported to be over $67 million. His hotel business alone is worth $20 million, quite a feat expected from a man who named his investment business Relentless. Gary Neville has been actively involved in charity work throughout his career. He has supported various causes, including Manchester's children's hospitals and community initiatives. One of his major contributions was donating every penny he earned from The Overlap to Alzheimer's Society and Macmillan Cancer Support. The Overlap is Gary Neville's official YouTube channel, where he showcases himself meeting some of the biggest names in sports and discussing his views on certain things. He's getting close to 1 million subscribers on the platform. Another big project is the 5-a-side games, initiated by Gary and his mates from the class of '92. Here they auction games for teams to play against them. It's been a roller coaster ride with this project since all of them have hung their boots, but they've been able to raise £1 million for charity. In 2015, around 50 homeless people squatted at the Stock Exchange Hotel, one of the firms Gary invested in. When Gary and his partners found out, they didn't chase them away or into the streets. Instead, they allowed the homeless people to remain there for another 5 months, even donating £100,000 for their care and to ensure the building was as safe as possible. But there are a few controversies that we should know about. For a man in his position, it's almost impossible to live a life without controversy. People always have something to say. When Neville had to sack ex-Salford manager Richie Williams, who had only been appointed a few months earlier that season, he got criticized by fellow pundit Jamie Carragher, who wouldn't miss the opportunity. Earlier, Gary Neville had said that managers were not always given enough time. Richie Williams might have produced an embarrassing string of poor results, but maybe he could have given the poor guy the benefit of the doubt. Gary Neville's outspoken nature as a pundit has been a blessing and a curse. His nature has occasionally sparked debates and disagreements with fellow pundits and fans. Nevertheless, his dedication to his opinions has also earned him love and respect in the world of football. Interestingly, Gary Neville and his brother Phil Neville became the first siblings to play together in the England national team since 1920. Plainly speaking, they are the most famous brothers in football history since the Charltons. Also, Neville is known for his intense hatred for Liverpool and Manchester City as a player and pundit.